After watching a fellow YouTuber's video about pros and cons of his layout, come across a conversation about terminal strips, and this is kind of our goods and bads. This picture is kind of what we're scared of getting to, that big ugly rat's nest, and this next picture is kind of what we're hoping for as we move forward, is a nice, neat, clean, orderly. So here's some videos of the club's layout. This first part is some of our good. This part we're looking right here is underneath Grand Rapids on our peninsula. We were able to put a little board right there to allow us to organize it. As you see, some electronics right there. Looking at the bottom up, you see we have our 110 volt power supply. There's an accessory bus. There's the main bus power. The orange and black is turnout control. Here we come into some more circuitry. This is block detection and signaling. As we look up here, you can kind of see that it's a little bit more neat and organized with our tortoises and district power and stuff. The terminal blocks there. This big gray wire you're going to see me point to in a second is on the left side is our main line. We have a dual track main line all the way through the layout, so that's a nice easy way. It's 4 conductors or 3 conductors to cover our 2 main lines and a ground. As we move down here, you can kind of start to see on the right side right there, there's some terminal strips. That's all the wires that are leading to our panel on that side to control this part of Grand Rapids. You can start to see all of our tortoises here coming up, and you notice they all have terminal strips so that there's no soldering. The terminal strips are nice. They add a lot more work, but you're able to, if you replace wires or whatnot, it's not as detrimental. Here I'm kind of looking down underneath the peninsula down towards the Cooper Park side. You can see it's a little kind of neat and organized. Really tried to keep it that way. Here we're underneath another part of the layout. This is underneath our balloon tracks on the north wall. This had been done by our previous club member, and there were a few mistakes made, so me and another club member went under here and we kind of tore everything out and redid it and tried to label everything. And this is all the block detection for the area, and we didn't touch too much more than that. At this part, it was just fixing the track wiring. There's a lot of stuff under here, so I can't really, we store a lot of stuff under our layout like everybody else, so I couldn't get too much farther. But this kind of shows, here's another good view, should be coming up right here, of all the block detection and the circuitry and the coils and everything, and how everything's labeled. Now it's labeled with just Sharpie, but labeling is important. As you do this stuff, it's important. And here's some of the very early stuff, and you can kind of see that there's not much organization here. Wires are just kind of ran sporadically wherever. You've seen some block detection in there. There's some turnout controls in there. One thing that's different here is we're using MP1s versus tortoises in this area, but there's not a lot of organization. You can see things run all over the place. Our accessory bus, which is that spool of orange, black, yellow, and red wire, that's our accessory bus at 12 volt, 5 volt, 3.5 volt, and a ground. But there's not much organization. There's a little bit, like right here where I'm showing all the wires running in the front are bus lines for either the yard or the main line or whatnot. And all this dumb terminal strips right there, that's all for the turnouts control in the yard, in Holland Yard. It's not very organized in the sense of keeping it neat, which makes it harder to try to troubleshoot and figure out where things are. There's a real big necessity in building a layout to plan ahead with your electricity or your electronics and your wiring and all that stuff, because it can very quickly, as you can see, there's a lot of wires that gather around and can if you don't pay attention to what you're doing, get in the way of everything else. You can see the little green circuit boards there. That's all for signaling. That's our signaling stuff. The big long ones are all for turnout controls, and everything else is track power and turnout power. I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe you can take a little bit off of this. I'll show you one more thing. There's some wires coming up. It should be turned. You can kind of see the LED lights right there on the. They were popped their head out on the right side there for a second. I thought I showed them better than that. That wire right there going across the back, that's for the LED lights. There you go, there's a good picture of it. That goes all the way around our upper deck, so it lights the lower deck. I hope you guys can take away and maybe work on some planning and stuff for this.